And welcome into the Friday edition. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you. We are presented by Green Ventures Landscaping for homes and businesses that want to stand out, not blend in. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. Live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. And this is my computer this time making this noise, not Rexrode. That's been a while.
I was hitting buttons over here.
That's been a long time, maybe years since that's happened.
Wow, that's much more rare than the mute. Even
that's how we set the tone on the Friday morning. Joe, how we doing? What's going on?
Doing okay. Big Friday here. I see you got some golf there behind you that we can follow. So we'll look forward to seeing how that's going. And yeah, I mean, I continued to watch a lot of soccer. I couldn't stay up for the end of. I don't even know who won. Mexico, South Korea. Do we know?
We know. Mexico won.
Mexico did win.
1-0.
Oh, that's right. I did see the goal, which was very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. The South Korean goalie. Oh man. You know, Brennan was a youth soccer and travel soccer goalie, and like if he made that play, you know, I probably would have screamed at him in front of all the other parents. You know, like I often like to do.
Sure.
Just absolutely rip into him. You know. But no, but in all seriousness, that's just like, man, you can't make that mistake if you're the goalkeeper. For anybody who saw it. Yeah, I know. But yeah, man, U.S. plays today. Exciting.
That means I'll be watching today. That's when I watch.
There you go. So yeah,
the U.S. plays.
There you go. Okay, fair enough.
I'll be doing that. U.S. Australia today. See how that goes. How are we feeling about that one, Ian?
Good question. I think we're feeling fine. Feeling okay after the first win. You know, you get a little bit of a cushion here, even if a draw.
Yeah.
Not the worst result, so to speak.
I'm looking at the odds. The USA
should win.
minus 160 to win.
Yeah.
Plus 320 to draw. In Australia, plus 425 to win.
You know, heavy favorite.
Yeah.
So basically, a win is a guarantee of getting to the knockout round, right?
A win wins the group.
A win wins the group. Yeah. So the game next week against Turkey is still meaningful because of your placement in the knockout round.
I believe that is correct seeding.
But you know, you've got best player on the team, Christian Pulisic, is hurt, and I don't know. Some people are wondering if it's a little bit of gamesmanship or whatever, but he's barely been practicing, so that's kind of a big deal. You know, do you play him? Apparently, last time they played Australia beat the crap out of him too. You know, do you mess with that? Do you give him another week? It's kind of an interesting, decision.
Yeah, that is an interesting decision. I mean, if they're gonna advance where people want them to advance this year, he's gonna have to be part of it, right? I mean, if he's not, that's gonna be a huge problem.
Right. So it's like, if you feel like you're gonna beat Turkey, no problem. Maybe you take your chances today, and you're still gonna be fine in the knockout round, and maybe you still get some stuff done today, and then he's healthy because he got kicked on the calf, right?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one.
We're gonna need to work through the calf kick, you know.
Yeah,
get out there and go.
No, I'm sure
it's the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm sure he could play and be fine, but like it's just like that. You know, it's almost like in the lost sport of college baseball, which actually we will talk about later. But the whole do I hold back my best pitcher? Do I go right away with my best pitcher, or do I hold back my best pitcher? And that is the more strategic way to go. Some coaches are like, no, I'm going all the. It's not exactly the same, but I mean, if he can play, but what if you can get him at 100% starting in a week from today?
It's a good question. It's a worthy debate. If you're Team USA today, we'll see what they do. I'm hoping he plays, but we'll see. See what they do.
It's a lot more fun.
More fun just to watch
when he plays.
He's playing.
He is very fun to watch.
That is at 2:00 today. So USA taking on Australia today. You got the U.S. Open going on the golfing front. And we've reached the point of the year with the NBA Finals gone, Stanley Cup Final gone. By the way, we will be crowning a champion later in the show on the weekend winners front. So,
yes, officially, we'll have a ceremony.
See what happens on that front.
But speaking of the Knicks, real quick, did you guys? The parade looked pretty amazing yesterday. Also, I don't know if the mayor's speech was one of the best. Probably the best politician speech about a sports championship that I've ever seen. I
did not see the mayor's speech.
It's like if you're a Knicks fan, and I'm not, but I got all the references. Like he basically went through the whole thing of like of the torment of being a Knicks fan and brought it to it was really freaking good.
Was Stephon Marbury brought up at any point?
He was.
Good.
I mean, essentially, like any key player since they won it all got a mention in this speech. It was really good. And it looked like the parade was nice. And then like they had the streets cleaned up, like, you know, like it was like there was pictures like the parade has moved on, and then and it's just like
did they officially dub Jalen Brunson as the greatest New York Knick in history? Was there an official ceremony on that front yesterday?
I did not hear that. I did not hear that at that parade. I also did not hear anything about a participation trophy. Shout out to friend of the show, Vinny. Vinny Goodwill's taking a lot of crap this week. Vinny Goodwill taking a lot of crap. Friend of the show. I've known Vinny since he was an intern. He was like 19 years old in Detroit, and he's really good. But yeah, that was a tough one.
Called the Larry O'Brien Trophy a participation trophy this week.
Yeah, like essentially saying like all these teams with championships haven't had that second one. We have had 8 straight unique champions in the NBA, which is crazy. But yeah, maybe the participation trophy may not be quite the wording you're looking for.
You know, if everybody gets a championship, it's like, well, not everybody gets one. You know,
yeah, you have to earn the championship.
Just one per year.
Yeah, it's really hard to get one, and the Knicks just did. And I don't know, maybe he's a Knicks hater too. Could be like me.
Well, look, I will freely admit
Pistons thing.
I will freely admit
he did grow up a Pistons fan,
and I think I talked with you about this off the air. You know, I'm happy that the Knicks won, particularly for Ian. I'm happy for Knicks won. I'm happy that, you know, it's cool to see, you know, for the most part, teams that have not won in forever that get it done and break down the door, and like the jubilation from the fan base. Although I will say, I mean, I'm hoping the Toronto Maple Leafs never in my life win one, because I think their misery is hilarious.
They're working hard to never win.
They were working hard.
Some of their hires here.
I just made a trade today too.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah.
All right.
They made the trade for Radish.
Doing
the sign and trade with Tampa.
All right. We'll see how that goes for them. But I will say, like, I think pretty quickly, it's like, okay, congratulations to the Knicks for winning the championship. And now I kind of view it like I view all of New York sports, and it's like, all right, well, just go back over there. We don't need too much success.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need you to go win another one.
We don't need you to become Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, man, Boston had that run where it's like, really? Like they're all going to win
really
championships?
Yeah.
Really? Is it? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Everybody else out here is starving. Yeah. Okay. No, I've never, been a Knicks fan. Like when it was Pacers Knicks, I was screaming for Reggie, talk that trash to Spike Lee. But it's pretty awesome. I mean, it is like any fan base that has a half century of drought or more. And it's, and that is like New York is like, it's a basketball. I heard TD talking about this, it's a basketball place, and the Garden is this iconic place, and they have had a lot of great players. They've made runs at it, and they've had a lot of misery. That's cool. It's cool to see. And now they've had the parade, great speech, great parade, and
it's over.
Don't win anymore. Thank you. And then, look, I know that this is, I'm sorry, Ian. I'm not trying to take shots at your team, but like I don't really look at them next year as a top contender to win it all. Like,
and we're back.
I know. I'm sorry.
Didn't take very long.
I'm sorry. It's like that's what part of what makes this run so amazing. Like they're a 52-win team. They're a 52-win team that had all that matters is what you do when it matters most. So no one can take away that they went 16-3. No one can take away the clutch comebacks and clutch play. Incredible. On paper, I think there's a lot more talented teams in the league. But hey, man, if they back this up and turn that participation trophy into a pair of earned dynasty trophies,
good to see.
I don't know what else you can say about it.
I mean, I think Joe's got the Knicks, I believe, in the play-in game or to get in the playoffs.
Oh, for sure. Borderline playoff team, no doubt.
I think is where he's got him.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see how they play in the regular season, because it wasn't as well as they played in the postseason.
Well, they got an inspiring speech from James Dolan to begin their playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Their owner.
I didn't see his speech yesterday, but
I saw a video of it, and I thought it would be one of those things where he would just, get in there like, "Hey guys, really pulling for you guys, way to go!" And then all of a sudden, I'm looking down at the TikTok feed, and it was like a 15-minute long speech. I was like, I ain't watching all that. All right, thank you. See ya.
Yeah,
I didn't see any of it either.
He's quite a blowhard. And you know,
The NBA champion.
sports. He is sports owners. Yeah, that's not all that rare. But boy, he's a special breed. I tell you what.
I heard he got booed though.
Yeah,
At the parade?
Yeah.
If there's any time for him to not be booed at the parade, you'd think it'd be that one.
If he ever wondered, would there be any scenario where Knicks fans wouldn't boo me? Nope. Championship parade.
Does not exist.
Pretty much. Yeah. At any time. I mean, my God.
Has that ever happened?
Didn't the guy I don't know.
Has an owner ever been booed at a championship parade?
Like, for example, like, did George Steinbrenner? I bet you George Steinbrenner caught a stray
Well,
boo or
maybe,
two.
yeah.
He probably caught a stray boo or two, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
I didn't know he was actually like seriously booed when he got up there. I didn't see
Dolan?
the speech. Yeah.
From what I heard.
I mean, if the Titans ever win a
that's
Super Bowl,
fantastic.
like Amy Adams Strunk will be crowd surfing out there, or Bill Haslam be going nuts. The Preds win the Stanley Cup. They're not going to get booed.
Well, of course. Now those are two very different things. Are we sure there are no Titans fans who?
Yes.
No, none
At the championship
Well,
parade.
I mean, you know, you're probably right, but I'm like, she has made people mad here.
She has, but I think people would probably get over it if they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you would hope so. Man.
I mean, the more I think about this, the more amazing that is. I don't think I've ever seen an owner get booed at a championship parade.
that is a good question. Like, who are some of the other like hated owners who still ended up winning championships? I mean, Dolan like kicked did he kick Charles Oakley out of the building for life and whatever? I mean,
yes.
like
Yes, he did.
I mean, so yeah, that is special though. I got to find the video of that now. And here, the championship owner, James.
Wow.
Oh God.
I mean, I have to think. I don't know when the Eagles won the championship. Are there a bunch of Eagles fans walking around just booing their owner?
That would
be a prime city for it.
That would be the city where if you're going to boo an owner at a championship parade, yeah, that would be. That's a good. I'd like to know the answer to that. Matthew from Jolton said I'd boo Amy for that.
I don't believe
There
you.
you go.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
If the Titans just won the Super Bowl, I don't think you would.
Yeah, you're sitting here right now saying that, but you haven't gone through the ecstasy of winning a championship, right? That would be. I bet you there might be like a boo.
This might be the most amazing development in sports history. The more I think about it. Hey, congrats to the Knicks on winning the championship. Here's our owner. Just get off the stage. All right. See ya.
God, I need to know how many times this has happened.
615-737-1025, our phone number. 615-737-1025. We'll continue to take your thoughts on whether or not you'd boo Amy Adams Strunk if the Titans win the Super Bowl. Plus, it
Question
is
of the day.
match day for the United States. World Cup, last time it was in America, a big success. MLS was birthed out of it. What is this run going to do, especially if the United States can go on a run? What does it do for soccer in this country? We'll get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. The soothing sounds of Maroon 5 bringing us back in on the program here today. We could wait and let Adam Levine start singing. There he is.
I was like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, okay, Ian's throwing a little music in. That's fine. A little music every once in a while, give us a little office building kind of vibe going on.
I think it might be Maroon 5 Day on the program today.
I forgot about that song.
We brought it up a lot.
What's the name of that song?
I think that's their. I think that was their first hit. It says "This Love."
Yeah.
I mean, that crap got him the Super Bowl.
He knows it.
I do know it. And what moves like Jagger? God.
Yeah, that one's bad.
That's in here too.
That one's bad.
Are there any other hits?
Oh, they've got some hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just kind of depends on what your definition is. But yeah, they were big deal back in 2002.
Yeah.
2004.
It's really incredible that would ever rise to the level of the Super Bowl. I mean, really,
it is kind of amazing they got a Super Bowl show.
Like I know I'm a hater.
Say what you will about Maroon 5.
Sure.
I mean, they're a very popular band, but it is amazing they played a Super Bowl.
Yeah, like again, you can list out a lot of bands who didn't, and maybe some of them have been asked. I don't know the whole history of it, but yeah, like which one of these things is not like the other? Sesame Street, yeah, Maroon 5 would be that Super Bowl band. Like what? A Super Bowl?
Who knows? It could be in for round 2 here. I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know where the Maroon 5 band lives. I'm sure one of them
at
has
least
some sort of dwelling here.
I'm sure, right? Yeah. We went down to I wish I remember what band it was, but went down to Leaper's Fork one day, and like hung out there and everything. And it was like this 90s band was just hanging. There's like all these like country stars going that place and like play, or whatever. But there was just like this 90s band just kind of hang. I don't know, it was like Better Than Ezra. I don't know what it was. I don't remember which band it was, but they were just kind of hanging out. It's like, wow, every like former band lives in Nashville somehow. Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Just like every like baseball player or every athlete of any kind just kind of ends up here some way, somehow. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good place to live.
It's a good place.
Stop moving here.
Yeah,
Thanks.
It's a good place to live. The World Cup match today for Team USA against Australia coming up at 2:00 in Seattle. And it's interesting because obviously the first game against Paraguay, very exciting offensive explosion from Team USA. We talked with Kuharski about how this team may be a little bit more prepared offensively than some other teams the United States has thrown out there that we've seen in the past. And the World Cup is here. So that's the really big thing. Like the World Cup is here. I mean, when's the last time it was here? 94? Is that it?
It was.
So 94. I was 2. So 94 was the last time it was here. And basically MLS was launched out of that. And we've seen MLS grow to the point where now we have an MLS team in our city. And obviously it's been a sport that's been on the rise. So when you couple those two things together, when you couple, number one, that the event is taking place here in our country, and number two, if this team does something with it and they're able to go on some sort of run here, what do you think that does for soccer in America, which I would say is a sport that's already rising, but what do you think this could do as an accelerator if those two combination of things takes place here over the next few weeks?
Yeah, well, according to one study, I don't know that you're going to have something that's a bigger impact than MLS created basically out of the World Cup being here, which is what happened. It started in 96. And, really like a lot of the momentum from that, and it's like we didn't even do well in 94. Created a league that certainly had its moments of wobbling and but now really so. But according to the study I'm reading here, soccer is now the 4th most popular sport. Now when you're talking about playing more, basically 25 million Americans play it, so it is past ice hockey. It is closing in on baseball. Now let me think here. So then obviously, football and basketball are top 2 then, as I'm assuming that. Yeah.
Nobody ever gives any love to golf, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, golf I love trying to hit it through the clown's mouth. I mean,
golf's
love
played
golf,
by
man.
Like probably 300 million people, but nobody ever seems to say that. But
yeah, maybe it's because of how poorly they all
maybe
play
so.
it.
Maybe so.
Like 1/5 1,000 of them play it pretty well. But yeah, like, so read through the study too, some of the other numbers. I mean, first of all, MLS in 24, more than 23,000 fans per game, more than 11 million in the league. I mean, that's a huge jump from what it was. Internationally, this is where I've seen, like, I have quite a few friends who have adopted, we've talked about this, like adopted the Premier League team, and they get so into it. More than 50 million Americans watched international matches that didn't involve USA in 2024. That's a 60% increase from 2018.
Okay.
So those are international matches, but then again, there's also just the international leagues that have just blown up. I mean, it's kind of cool. You can go to an Arsenal bar, or go to,
I've done it before. It's cool.
Yeah, right. It's cool. I can't bring myself to like actually get passionate about one of these teams. That's just me.
I'm with you.
But a lot of people get there. So what does this mean? Like, there's no way there's going to be a bigger impact than MLS spawned out of this World Cup. But I mean, you think about the next few weeks. Again, I'm a guinea pig. I've got World Cup fever. I'm watching it. I mean, Katie's watching it too. Like, she's actually like, yeah, let's put it on. I mean, she hates when I put basketball on because of the squeaking of the shoes. I can't stand the squeaking of the shoes. There's no squeaking of the shoes.
Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And so project this ahead weeks of this. What if the U.S. team really makes a run and stuff like that? What's the possible outcome? I mean, I don't think that there's anything like, as big as MLS, but like, what does it mean for Nashville SC? What does it mean for just the sport at large?
Well, I think it's a great question. I think somebody like me is a perfect example. I'm not a soccer guy. Like, I just don't. It's never really been my thing. I enjoy watching the U.S. in the World Cup. That's about it, right? Like, that's about where my soccer fandom stops. But like somebody like me, even back in 2010, like, I remember Landon Donovan's goal against Algeria. It was awesome. Like, I was watching it when it went down. It was incredible. Like, and that's something that, like, I remember where I was watching it. And that's not a thing that, I don't remember that about everything that I watch, right? Like, but that's something that clearly sticks out to me in my mind. So I think the U.S. making a run in this could be even more important than the actual event being here. Does that make any sense? Like, I think if the U.S. and they don't have to go win it or anything, but like, if they make a significant run where they're playing in meaningful matches, and particularly if those matches are close, like, I think it's easy to get a casual sports fan, especially when you're talking about like rooting for, your country. I think it's easy to get into. That's why, like, when the Olympic hockey was here, so many people got into Team USA because you may not be a hockey fan, but it's easy to get into it. Like, you're watching your team go out there and play this thrilling game. So I think the U.S. making a run part of this for like the growth of the game in our country may even be more important than the World Cup actually being here. I think both are important, but to your point, like 94, you created a league out of this. You're not gonna surpass that when it comes to the impact of it. But if the U.S. can make a significant run here, I think that can actually create sustainable soccer fans where they look at it and say, well, that was awesome. Maybe I'll go follow Christian Pulisic where he goes, or I'll go to my local MLS game for the first time that maybe I wasn't willing to go to before. I think the U.S. part of this is huge.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what's more important, just having it here, but then the U.S. just doesn't do much, or just it could be wherever, but the U.S. makes a run. It's probably the second.
Probably but that's the unique.
Combo is pretty good.
The combo is a unique thing here, which could be awesome. We'll take your thoughts on that. 615-737-1025. If the U.S. makes a run in the World Cup, what do you think that does for soccer in this country? What would that do for you and your interest level? We'll take more of your thoughts on that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game.
Is this crap Maroon 5 too? What are you trying to do to me, man?
I mean, I don't know that we're going to have enough segments in the show today, Ian, to really cover all of their
They got
hits.
too many jams.
They got too many of them.
This is a jam. I don't know this
This is
song,
Harder to
but it
Breathe.
sounds
This is a
like
good one.
trash.
This is a good one.
This is my first time hearing it. Makes me sick.
This is a very popular song, and I mean, I don't know when this came out.
What's the name of this one?
Harder to Breathe.
Harder to Breathe?
Yeah.
Make it a little harder so you can't sing.
2002 when that came out, by the way.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Please.
Get
Get even harder.
Slightly harder to breathe. That way you cannot make sound.
Hey, save those breaths. Okay? Go sit somewhere away from a microphone and catch your breath.
Oh, man.
God.
I'm taking
There's
your
a few more
thoughts.
in the system here. I'll take some requests too if anybody has anything.
We got Sunday morning in there?
No, but I will get that ready.
All right. There we go.
I mean, this is
I don't even know if that's what
unbelievable.
it's
You know, like why can't I get like, one of my band's days? I mean, I have to.
You got to ask.
Okay.
That's all you got to do. Is
I play
ask.
your music all the
I'd
time.
like,
Yeah, what are
I'd
you
like
talking
a,
about?
I'd like a Pixies day. I'd like a Pixies.
I think
day,
we've
please.
done that before, haven't we?
Yes, we have after the Pixies show, I believe, or
Did it?
the day of.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the Metallica day.
I'm not saying we can't do it again. I'm just saying,
I've played
I think
plenty
it's
of
happened.
Dave songs
Okay.
recently. I play a lot of your music.
Fine.
By the way, Liam says that Maroon 5 is better than Dave Matthews Band. So
Yeah, he's not. He knows he's kidding. He said he's trying to get a rise on me, but he's
It
also
worked.
it did work. But he's also sending these pictures of like French snacks that have gout on the bag.
Yeah.
So that's
good to know. It's
interesting.
a big concern over there. Just so you guys know, be aware.
Pork rinds.
Yeah.
Extra gout.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Taking your thoughts on U.S. soccer, if they make a run, what do you think this could do for interest level in the United States? Again, I think the U.S. soccer run part of this is more important than the World Cup being here. The combination, I think, is what has a chance to make it special. I will say this, though. It has been a nice reminder, like watching people come over here and enjoy themselves the way that they have. It's a nice reminder of, if you get outside of all of our respective bubbles a little bit, it's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice place to live. It's pretty cool that people can come over here and enjoy themselves. And hopefully the United States just sends them a home packing and crying at the end of it. I mean, how awesome would it be? And I know this is not going to happen. How awesome would it be if they just won it? At some point, I've thought about this for a long time. We've got 360 million people in this country or whatever it is. We should be better at soccer than we've been. I mean, right? I mean, we've talked about that before. Like, our best athletes historically in the country have not played soccer. So I totally understand that. I mean, they're playing football and basketball and baseball and all these other things. But we should be better in soccer than we've been. And hopefully we're starting to get to that point.
Yeah, well, and so the question of what does this mean? That might be as important as anything, right? Because I think we've had this discussion years ago, but it's generational and it's also geographical. Like, for me, when I was in the Midwest as a kid, like, no one played soccer. We had 3 seasons. You played football, basketball, and baseball. That's what you did. Little League and all of them. Didn't cost much, by the way. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
My parents just dropped me off practice. Hey, thanks. Don't know. No money. The $5 registration fee, whatever. But no one played soccer. Like, no, there was no like I knew of Pele. I heard Big Joe yesterday talking about Pele. Was he the record holder? It's like that. There you go. I get it. Like, we're the same generation. When I moved to Virginia in the early 80s, and like where Johnny Glennon was just a killer out on the pitch. A little bit more, but like, so the Eastern Seaboard, in certain areas of the country, a little bit more, but like, still at that time, I mean, my playing of soccer consisted of one time in Saudi Arabia in gym in 8th grade. Like, we had 2 soccer days. Like,
Okay.
We had a soccer team that was very good, but I didn't play any of that stuff. So that's my generation. Now, you guys, I think, were probably around more youth soccer. As a parent, that's the first thing you do. You can put a kid in a soccer league or a t-ball league, and it's like very young, and you play. And then
And we're already talking about that with Allison. She's 2.5. And we're like, a couple years she could just play soccer. For nothing else, just go run
around. All the kids will all glom to the ball, and all that stuff. And then you see if one kid I had got very serious, got into good, Eris travel team around here, all that stuff. So, that's a parent perspective. So over time, it's become, more of a thing. But like you said, it's still like how many kids here dream first of, I want to be like this soccer star, right? This is something where I think that could actually change it. Again, Pulisic has an incredible tournament. I mean, there's some really good, there's some really good players on this U.S. team. So that's where maybe that's the biggest impact is down the road. Because I mean, you're right. But we haven't been close, right?
No.
I mean, and still right now, I think most people would judge this team against France or Argentina and stuff and say, they're not going to win. Big difference still.
They're not going to win. But if you could make a significant run, and I heard Landon Donovan talking about this on an interview last week. He's like, the game's getting stronger. More people are playing, more kids are playing. I think they asked him when he thinks the U.S. can actually win a World Cup, and he was like, probably sometime in the 2040s, when these kids are basically right now getting older, sometime in the 2040s, maybe they can actually compete and win. Which sounds forever away. I mean, when you think about it, it's really not. When you start to talk about how many World Cups away that is, it's really not that many. But I mean, how cool would it be to be able to compete that way? And again, just from a population standpoint. And a resources standpoint, this should be a country that competes pretty well at soccer. So, I look, is it ever going to get to the point where you look at the United States heading into the World Cup and say, I mean, on the very short list of co-favorites, here's where you got, I mean, the U.S. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it will ever in this country get to the level of just an establishment of the culture that it is in some of these other places, right? People live and breathe this stuff all over the world. And I don't know that it'll ever be that here, but I do think it'll get a lot better and a lot more of a big deal in this country as time goes on. I think you're seeing that with the younger generation.
Yeah. And I flip it around on basketball. I think the dream team in Barcelona and all that stuff. And you look at now, these teams, these international teams have come a long, long way to where, in basketball. And so, that's one sport that probably has taken a little bit away from soccer in some places. But like you said, it's just flat out dominant. And even as soccer rises, I mean, American football is still by far the most popular thing here. Yeah. So I don't see it ever getting to the point where it overtakes that.
Well, the other thing I think you hit on that is a big deal in all this. Soccer is it's an easy sport to go out there and just play, right? I mean, it's kind of similar to basketball in that respect. Of all you really need is a ball and a goal, and you can go out there and play, right? So there is that part of it, and I think people are starting to see that more and more. Hockey's a great example. Hockey is also growing in the United States, but hockey's a lot more difficult to play just because of, number one, it's harder to find ice time. And number two, it's expensive. It's expensive as all get out to play hockey. Soccer, it's not, right? You get the ball and you get the goal and you run out there and you play. That's what you do. So I think the nature of the sport helps in that regard as well.
No, that's a great point. That's some of these sports. Well, you mentioned golf. I mean, golf is a very popular sport. Everybody kind of plays it in some way, but are you going to serious about golf? If you are, well, you better have the funds to do it.
Yeah.
And soccer, probably soccer and basketball in particular is about as cheap. I mean, baseball can be kind of expensive too. But everything can be expensive now.
Can be, sure.
I mean, listen, again, I was a soccer travel parent. It was not cheap, but that's also because it's hey, everybody stayed at this hotel for this tournament, and you got to, it's all that stuff. It's the racket.
Yes.
Get ready.
Now I'm thinking, what is the cheapest sport to play?
I mean, soccer's
I think it might be soccer.
It's got to be soccer, right? Or basketball.
In terms of, so Brennan was a goalie, so there is some little bit more equipment there.
Gloves.
Yeah, you got to get all the, but yeah, if you consider everything as a travel sport now, if your kid wants to be serious, you have to do that. You have to travel, you have to drive. Sometimes you have to fly, you have to get the hotels, you have to pay the tournament. So if you consider all that kind of equal, yeah, soccer's probably the cheapest.
I think so.
I mean, football.
That's got to help. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's got to help. But it's also, so this tournament, are these kids gonna, how much does like watching these guys
Right.
get more people into it that weren't into it at all?
Yeah, it's a good question. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Some more of your thoughts to get to on the soccer front. There is a development in the National Hockey League that I find very interesting as well that we'll get Joe's thoughts on. Coming up next, all that ahead, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Sunday morning from Maroon 5, one of their great hits. I actually enjoyed this song.
Rain is falling. How about a thunderstorm? Can I get a tornado in that studio?
When did that song come out?
Can I get a monsoon?
I've never met somebody with this much hatred for Maroon 5.
Honestly, I'd never think about them. I usually think about Creed when I think about bands I hate.
Well, which one would you rather have?
Well, I think it's just I don't even like at least Creed is a fake rock band. You know, I don't know what Maroon 5 is. What are they? What is this? What kind of music is this?
Yeah,
You
I don't
know,
know.
it's like because I love yacht rock, but it's like new age yacht rock, but
Sure.
just not good. I don't know.
The early 2000s was interesting for music. There was like a transition there from the 90s boy bands to the 2000s.
Yeah.
Kind of like an in-between no man's land there, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, like pop music, like them, like people can go back and look at the 80s and be like, oh my God, that's the worst. I think if you're a certain age, I love all that stuff because I was a kid during all that stuff, right? So if you were young when Maroon 5 came out, you might think it doesn't suck. Yeah, like you.
Like me.
Yeah, you're 10 years old. Hey, doesn't suck.
Yeah.
I'm young Robbie Stanley. I don't think this music sucks. So I can't blame you for that. Again, like I like Men Without Hats jamming the safety dance. Is that good music? I mean,
Actually,
you probably have a
No.
debate. But it was like my childhood. So anybody who was a certain age then, I'm not mad at you, but it's bad. It's bad.
I will look as somebody who, Maroon 5's whatever, they're fine. It is mind blowing they got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that part of it is still like, oh yeah, Super Bowl, huh? How about
Yeah.
that? Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to need to research that, possibly rank the worst ones.
I think you should. I think you
I
should.
think I may have to.
Taking your thoughts. BDez81 on YouTube says some good friends of mine travel soccer parents for their daughter. She's really good, but they also got invited to place in Spain in a tournament. They went. It can get expensive. If you're traveling to Spain,
Yeah,
it'll probably get
think
expensive. after a
So
while.
yeah, Joey from Bellevue, who is a faithful listener and a big soccer guy, is talking about how it's just different. He lived overseas, very different, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
But I asked him, like, don't you think this could be a bump? He said it could. You can get caught in the moment. Like Nashville Seas current, the best team in the league. Nick Frazier is the one person on the station who talks a lot about them. I mean, that's the thing. I do not feel qualified. Like I can sit here and say Christian Pulisic, he's good, and if he plays, they're better, and if he doesn't play, that's not good. I mean,
It's true.
like my analysis of soccer is subpar. Like I don't feel comfortable doing it. I've had to write a little bit of soccer here and there. Woo! I mean, it's pretty
It's a nice kick.
paint by numbers type stuff. Now it's funny though, like when I hear the analysts, sometimes there are some people in this whole universe of World Cup analysis that I think provide some interesting stuff. That's like, okay, that I learned something there. But a lot of it is like it's got to find the heart and the guts, and they got to prove to their country that they're good. It's like I'd rather hear like tell me some more and teach me about soccer.
Yeah, I do think sometimes in the soccer coverage they're trying too hard to make it relatable.
Yeah,
which I to a certain degree I appreciate. Like that's good. I think sometimes they go too far, and it's like you also want to like teach people the game, right?
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
want to be some level of an educator when it comes to this is why they're doing this, or this is why this is what they're running here. Like I'd like to see more than that as somebody who's learning the sport.
Yeah, I'd like a little bit more of that. There's been some certainly in breaking down some goals and what went wrong or whatever. But yeah, I'd like to get a little bit more of that.
And the MLS thing is interesting. Like, yeah, obviously, as Joey mentioned, Nashville SC is having a great year. We very rarely, just full transparency, we very rarely get people asking on our show to talk about Nashville SC. Like, it just doesn't happen. Will that change after this? Maybe. Well, and I think also too, like the deeper you go in the season and you get around to playoff time, and are they a threat to win the cup at that point? Like there's all that factors into it. But after the World Cup, when you have more casual fans watching soccer, does Nashville SC benefit from that? I mean, I would have to think To some degree, they would.
I think it'll benefit maybe in terms of more people wanting to go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to talk about it in this form, I mean, look, one of the big problems is once it starts getting down to the nitty-gritty, we're into football. And
Right.
I'm sorry, but the interest in football, it for us, it dwarfs it. It's just reality.
Yeah, for sure. So
is that going to change? I don't know. That's again, then we get into, we've talked about this before, Robbie, but I mean, if you are a soccer diehard, and Nick Frazier is, and he goes to all the Nashville Sea games, I think he loves the sport all up and down anywhere you can get. And MLS has gotten way better. But if you are a diehard soccer fan, you want the best, and it's not MLS. It's like the what league? What is it? The 6th, 7th best league in the world? Maybe I'm
depending on who you ask.
Am I selling it short?
Well, it just depends on who you ask.
5th?
Yeah.
Is 5th possible? Ian?
For MLS?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe
that
5th.
sounds about right.
But
I
again,
mean, you got German leagues, English leagues,
there's
the Italian league, the Spanish league. All those are probably, those are going to be better.
Yeah.
French leagues, they got some legit teams there.
So then that gets into that again too. Like here, when we talk about the NFL, that's the best football in the world that you can find, right?
Yeah.
And all these other sports. So that's still a thing that it's hard to overcome.
Yeah. And somebody says the reason nobody asked you guys to talk about soccer is because of what Joe said. It would not be helpful analysis or insight. Maybe.
Well,
there may be some of
that.
Yeah. I mean, fully admit there may be some of that. But
hey, listen now on the pitch.
Yeah.
But one of the things I love, by the way, is the USR,
Yeah.
Like in Europe, like in America, a team is an it, a band is an it,
Yeah.
right? In Europe, a team is a they.
Yeah. I kind of like that better.
You kind of like that better?
Yeah.
It kind of throws me off. Like the U.S. are really coming on now. I mean, wait, the U.S. is really coming on now.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about the extent of my analysis. So there you go.
Kind of like it. Joe, very quickly, your thoughts on Mike Babcock getting the go-ahead by the National Hockey League to return to coaching. For those who forgot, he was about to be the head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets after his stint in Toronto. And there was all that stuff about kind of the way he treated players, and he would be in a meeting with them and demand to see their phones and go through it and all this other stuff. Yeah. And there was nothing going on that was illegal or anything, but it was just weird. And I don't think that a whole lot of players liked him all that much. The NHL has conducted, I guess, their investigation on this because one of the stipulations of the NHLPA was, hey, if he's going to get hired again to be a coach, you better complete this investigation that you were going to do before he resigned as coach in Columbus, before he ever coached a game. They've done it. They've cleared him to return to coaching, and it looks like he's going to be the head coach of Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers. So what do you think of that?
It's weird. It's weird. I don't have a big problem. I mean, I have a way bigger problem with Joel Quenneville being a coach in this league, given the Kyle Beach situation and all the way down with that, than I do Mike Babcock. The Mike Babcock stuff was, it was a-hole behavior, old school. I could see players not liking it. Yeah. I'd question the hire, at this point. And believe me, Mike Babcock, brought me some joy, man, long ago.
He did.
The Detroit Red Wings. But to me, I don't see how anybody can get mad at that if they're not mad at Joel Quenneville being in the league.
The one thing I would say about this is there's been a narrative out there that's well, what do you think? What do you think Connor McDavid's going to think about all this? It's do you guys really think that they're hiring Mike Babcock to be their head coach if Connor McDavid has not given the go-ahead on this? They're basically doing everything they can do to try to convince him to stay longer than 2 years. And you guys think they're just going to go hire a coach and not consult him on it?
I agree with you, but why does this work? Why does he want this?
I mean,
he feels like some of these guys need to get roughed up a little bit.
Yes,
maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
You're desperate to win.
I think
he'll try anything.
You're desperate to win. Look, say what you will about Babcock. I mean, the results are what the results are. Mm-hmm. He's a great coach. And I do think Knobloch, who was their last coach, I mean, he got to 2 Cup finals, did a good job. But this past year, I think, some of the word coming out of Edmonton is there's nobody held accountable on anything. And I think they're trying to change that. So this will change it.
That will not be a problem.
Yeah, this will change it. We'll see how it goes.
Everyone except Connor.
Yeah.
Connor, you're good. Go over there.
Yeah, go over there and skate.
Go listen to
615-737-1025 is our phone number. The Save College Sports Act. Is it actually going to work? Does it have a chance to pass, or is this doomed for failure? We'll get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Friday morning. Presented by Green Ventures Landscaping, outdoor patios, landscaping design, lawn maintenance, and more. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios. Home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Turron Davenport will be with us at 8 o'clock. For his weekly visit, we will get into all things Tennessee Titans with him, taking your thoughts in the meantime at 615-737-1025. The Save College Sports Act, Joe, that we've talked a lot about, generating more headlines. It advanced out of a committee on Thursday. I think the vote was 19-9.
Yeah,
memory serves me correctly.
Right.
So 19-9 vote on that front. We've talked about this act, like how many amendments people want with it, how difficult it is to pass legislation that has any sort of meaningful effect on all this, and what that looks like. But a nice step on that front yesterday. So in the aftermath of all that, what do you think about what this means? Because I believe now that this has passed that first committee, it's made it farther than any of these other ones. So what do you make of where we stand today as to whether or not this thing actually has a chance to get through and make some sort of impact on college sports?
I think it's totally doomed, but there's something here. And you know, you get into the politicians, you know, just look, I mean, this is a bipartisan bill. Ted Cruz, Republican from Texas, Maria Cantwell, Democrat from Washington. They've worked together on this, and now they're kind of like, you know, beating their chest like, yeah, like we were going to save college sports. But I don't see, I mean, right now the Big Ten and SEC still oppose it, first of all.
Yes.
Okay. Greg Sankey's out there, you know, just tweeting up a storm, ripping people left and right. You get you've got the Super League stuff that is in there. You have the pooling of rights stuff that's in there. And, you know, you've got a spending cap, right? You got a lot of things that everybody wants, which is limiting the transfers and all that stuff, trying to preserve the Olympic sports programs. I think most people want that. But again, the spending cap. For one thing, I think people need to understand, like, even if this were to, and it should, I think, get to the Senate floor, but even if it does, even if it actually got all the way through and became a law, like, again, those are still, like, that doesn't mean you're totally immune to lawsuits. I mean, like, you know, it obviously gives them a lot more protection, but to me, it's just been an incredible waste of time by the leaders of college sports, millions and millions trying to get this life raft from Washington. And you look at this bill, and there's just so many things in it that people don't like. And if the Big Ten and the SEC are opposed to it, and why are they opposed to it? Well, the pooling of media rights, you know, Cody Campbell, who has lost some credibility here in the last few weeks, by the way, as we've talked about, you know, he believes, I've spent more than an hour on the phone with him explaining to me why he believes this. He'll talk to anybody about this. And it's pretty convincing that if you did what the NFL does and you pooled everybody's rights and you went to market with that, everybody would make way more money. Well, the Big Ten and the SEC are like, screw that. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing myself down with you. Now, if he's right, I would say they're being selfish and they are costing everyone, but they are not, you know, they're standing firm. Like, we have the most money. We make the most money. And again, this is a problem with college sports, right? We have these different factions. We don't have one league that would unify. We have these different factions. And so this is an attempt, and he wrote a ton of, he had his hands all over this. This is an attempt to try to bring everybody in one thing. In theory, I kind of like the idea, but it's not going to go through. It's not going to work.
Well, it's hard for me to imagine a scenario with that sort of construct that the SEC and Big Ten are going to agree to. And not that they've got just, like, I guess, total say, but if you can't get the SEC and the Big Ten to agree to this, you're just going to have a huge problem, right? Like we know that they are the de facto rulers of college athletics right now, right? I mean, it's not laid out that way, but they basically are. I mean, they're the de facto rulers of college sports right now. And to me, if you can't come up with something that they're going to like, I think it's going to be really difficult to get there. And look, I don't like it, but honestly, from their point of view, I kind of understand the media rights thing of why would we want to do this, right? I mean, they're already making money hand over fist. They're the ones that have kind of created their own TV rights deal. And now you want to take all that stuff and basically make it an even playing field. Like, I just don't think you're going to get the SEC and the Big Ten to go for that.
But what if it is way more money?
I don't even know that they care about that. I think they like the exclusivity of what they've done here and those two being the top dog. And I don't think they want to give air to anybody else.
I think you're right. But I also, yesterday, Ward Manuel, the Michigan athletic director, sent out a letter to fans. This is Michigan printing money, saying we're going to start doing logos on the field. Like they're looking under every rock for every dollar they can find. So, yeah, you're right. That is it. But it's like that's why it's college sports is just screwed. I mean, I'm sorry. Like unless you can get to something again, unless the athletes have a say in the stuff that goes on, like it's illegal. It's going to be illegal. Yeah. So there were Democrats and Republicans who voted against this. Again, there's support. So that's good. If you like the bill, I like some of what's in it. But, 2 Republicans who voted no. Roger Wicker from Mississippi, they've got 2 SEC schools. Todd Young from Indiana, they've got 2 Big Ten schools, Indiana, Purdue. And so that's – and like you said, if that's where the rift is,
it's hard to overcome.
You probably need you probably need to figure something out. Sankey, it's like the Super League stuff. And Sankey is upset about this. And I tend to want to believe him, and I think I do, just in terms of like right now, I don't think that's really a thing. I don't think the Big Ten and SEC are secretly colluding. Now, people are looking at this now. Oh, they're putting out joint statements. But I don't think that's been a thing. I think it's one of those outcomes you could see as inevitable in some way, whatever it looks like, a new thing that's formed that takes the best brands and then everybody else is left out. And then what that does, I would have big concerns about what that does to the sport in this country. But, I mean, you could see how it could get there. I mean, did you see Notre Dame's AD last week talking about when he was arguing about why it's not good, but talking about like a it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That's your schedule? That sounds amazing. But Sankey is calling out the private equity firms are circling like vultures, that they're really the threat to try to form the Super League, and the Big Ten and the SEC are not actively trying to do it. And I tend to agree. I tend to believe him. And this is where I tend to look at Cody Campbell, and it's like, again, some of your ideas, I get it, but also is he like paranoid and thinks things are happening with the Big Ten and SEC that aren't happening?
Well, also, I mean, not to get into like, Schoolhouse Rock over here going through like, Congress and all that.
Hill.
Yeah. But like, so this part of it is passed, and now it's going to need 60 votes to pass in the Senate, and then it's got to get through the House, and then it's got to get to the president. So there's a whole sort of pathway it's got to go through to get to where it's meaningful. And that sort of pathway combined with everything we just talked about with the SEC, the Big Ten, I mean, I give it like a 3% chance to get done, and it may be even high on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that high. Yeah, and again, there can be adjustments, but to me, the adjustment would have to be, and Mary Cantwell has said, we've made huge concessions to the Big Ten. Now they lowered the initially as written, it essentially barred like the Big Ten and SEC because of their level of revenue, from like adding members and stuff like that. They did lower it. So now the same rules apply to the Big 12 ACC. That's good. I mean, that's a good compromise, but unless this gets chopped way down, a lot of this stuff just completely just gone. Yeah, I'm at like 0.001, and maybe that could happen. I mean,
And then it leads to questions like, okay, well, how chopped is it going to get? And then like, well, what's the point if it's super chopped,
Yeah, but I think so. Tommy Tuberville this week, I must say, he says stuff. I'm like, oh, wow. What planet do you live on? But, and that goes back to his coaching career. But he came out and he had basically a big press conference where he put this bill and said this is like a federal takeover of college sports, which again it is. There are too many things going on here for it not to be a mess. And then he had his very limited, skinny bill of just the transfer stuff, just the real simple stuff that you can at least have some things fixed quote unquote with his bill.
Yeah.
And it's very limited. And I must say, I think he's onto something with this. The idea of just a really limited bill that at least focuses on like eligibility and the transfer stuff.
Yeah. 615-737-1025. Our phone number. We'll take your thoughts on college sports. And what does all this mean for the fan? We'll get into that coming up next as well. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Every dad takes us on a journey from Little League games and fishing trips to life lessons and road trips. This Father's Day, ESPN 1025 The Game hooking you up so you can take your old man on another journey to see Journey live. We got tickets all day long for your chance to win Journey tickets. Journey, the Final Frontier Tour in 2026, coming to Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. Listen throughout the day for your chance to score a pair of tickets and give Dad a Father's Day gift he'll never forget from ESPN 1025 The Game.
Journey. Now that's a proper band. Journey. Better choice for a Super Bowl than Maroon 5. I mean, put them on the list of hundreds.
The more songs from Maroon 5 Ian comes back with, the more I realize, maybe they did deserve the Super Bowl. A lot of bangers they had out there,
I mean, so you're already getting to, I assumed if I would have been told that today you're going to play all these Maroon 5 songs, I would have assumed that I'd be like, oh, that's one of theirs. I don't know that freaking song.
That's a good song.
I've never heard that song.
Well, maybe you're just missing out.
My life was better before today. Making my life worse.
That's kind of our goal. Make Rexrode's life just a little bit worse every day.
Until I finally die. Maroon 5 making my ears bleed.
By the way, the Sound's taking on the Memphis Redbirds tonight. First pitch at 7:05. Catch all the action on 94.9 The Fan. Presented by Twin Peaks, Family Leisure, Maple Street Biscuit Company, Mad Fireworks, and Social Cantina. So on the one hand, Joe, you've got, Congress trying to figure all this out. You got college football, college sports in general leadership trying to figure all this out. And then you've got the fans who at the moment are just still being asked to pay an arm and a leg for all these things. Because you mentioned turning over every rock to try to find money. Well, eventually, the fans are the ones that, foot some of the bill as well. So if you're a college sports fan, and we've talked about the football part of this. I mean, all these teams are in an arms race right now to come up with as much resources as possible and then allocate it to the right people and NIL. And, oh, well, by the way, make sure your facilities are still good. And, oh, by the way, here's a shopping district that's coming by Neyland Stadium and all these other things so we can suck more money out of you so we can continue to have more money to fund all this stuff. What do you, from a fan standpoint, one of the interesting things to me is there's been so many changes. We talked about going back to 2015 and try to explain to people the new ACC rivalry of Stanford and Miami. It's oh, good. They're in the ACC on complete opposite sides of the coast. Try explaining that to people 10 years ago. It's amazing to even think about. There's so many changes in a short period of time. And the bottom line is, from a college football standpoint, especially, it hasn't really affected interest level. It hasn't affected the dollars that are flowing. The TV ratings are still really, really good. So on the one hand, if you're all these people in college sports, you could say, well, look, interest is as high as it's ever been. People are still watching our product. People are still spending money. Let's keep going. On the other hand, I can't help but wonder in the back of my mind, when does the time come where people get tired of doing this, right? There's only a certain amount of people that have the ability to spend some of the money that it's going to be required to spend to follow your teams. We've talked about that when it comes to the college football playoff. And at the end of the day, throughout all of this, the ones that kind of get screwed in this are the fans.
100%.
It sucks.
Yeah. And so now we're talking about disenfranchising a lot of them, right? Because even if it's not realistic, in the way college sports has been, you have a chance. This could be the year that you have the magical year. I remember, a few years ago at Middle Tennessee, when Stock,
Rick Stockstill.
Yeah. But what's the kid's name?
Brent Stockstill.
Brent.
Yeah.
Yes. When Brent, thank you, was a quarterback and they had a really good team and they had a schedule. They went up, they won it. They won at Syracuse.
Yeah.
And it was well, what if this team, I think they had a game against Minnesota. I think they lost to Minnesota or something like that. So that ended it. But it's okay. So what if they do end up winning these, rip through their league, and then they're a team that's they're in there as a possibility to be included. It's that as a possibility keeps everybody engaged in it. You disenfranchise, and that's we're talking Power 5 teams that are going to get disenfranchised. If this Super League comes about. So And that's different from what you're talking about, but that's another way.
But it's all related.
But it's all related. It's all related. And then here's a question. Speaking of the fans, here's a question I'd have for the Ohio State fan, or a question I'd have for the Georgia fan. I guess the Alabama fan too, although they've already been pulled back to mediocrity a little bit here. But okay, so Super League. Okay, you guys gonna go to that, and then you're gonna have these. You're gonna play each other. It's gonna be like NFL Light, and then there's gonna be guardrails, and there's gonna be all this stuff. So you're okay being like everybody else?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if I'm an Ohio State fan, I like winning 12 games every year and being better than everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we're gonna go to this where it evens out way more than it is now, and now you're gonna 8-4. All right, we got in the playoffs. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're the effects on so many fan bases in so many different ways. I think people haven't considered all of them, but also to your point, it's like we have these ridiculous playoff systems being proposed where you would ask people to travel like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. And the people who can do that are the very rich people. And they're already being hit up for so much money that might be to the point where they have to sit out a couple trips.
Yeah.
It's so much of it is unsustainable and stupid. But yes, right now the numbers are good. And so there are people in college sports like, hey, what's everybody complaining about? It's looking good. The numbers are good. Yeah. I mean, I think there's some panicky stuff that comes out of the administrator side too, right? A little bit of like, oh, it's all going to collapse on us. And it's like, well, you just paid your team again. You just did another year. But I think you have to put some stock into what they're saying.
Well, the bottom, and we've talked about this, but the bottom line is also this. Had they spent some time, go back 20 years, had they spent some time preparing for this, and instead of trying to fight tooth and nail for as long as they did to prevent players from getting paid a little bit of money, or, oh, heaven forbid, somebody bought them a sandwich. Like, had they spent some time actively preparing for this and figuring out a system where maybe from the jump there was collective bargaining, you found a way to make them employees, like all these other things, would you be in a better spot than you are right now? Instead of just going from zero where there's nothing going on and it's all just like you're trying to control. And now, as multiple people have pointed out, I mean, there's just no rules. Like, it's just total chaos and anarchy. And it all basically stems from you fought this for so long, and rather than planning for it, you tried to resist it, and then it happened, and you had no idea what to do.
Right. Yeah, it's a great question. It's like, would we have eventually still gotten to the point of, hey, this is illegal, I don't know. But certainly the way it went, and it's so embarrassing for the people who were the gatekeepers back then. And by the way, leaders who are still in place right now. I mean, Greg Sankey, had no use for anyone getting $1 of NIL. But this is where then we go to this bill, to your point there. Go to the bill now. So essentially, you are proposing to cap the money on the players without them having a voice in it. Yeah. And I understand you're hoping that this will be a protection, but I have my doubts that it will. Let me go to Tuberville real quick. Good old Tommy Tuberville. Getting a lot of play on the show today. So he had these two boards. He goes down a list of this bill, this massive bill, and all the things. Basically saying doesn't fix the portal, opens the doors to lawsuits, caps the compensation, government controlled TV contracts, and realignment. His is 5 years of eligibility, has to be 5 consecutive years. You get 1 penalty-free transfer. That's it.
Yeah. I
mean, it does it address everything? No,
but can we start there? Yeah.
But if you, to me, how many fans at the beginning were like, well, if they're getting paid, I'm not watching. We know that's BS, right? Yeah. For all the people who are like, doing pretty well, that is a proper response to the idea of them getting paid is going to turn people off.
And frankly, no one cares about that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But players constantly moving every year.
People do care about that.
People do care about that. And so to me, that would have been the smarter way to go here. And I mean, I'm sure there'll be more chances. There'll be more attempts.
I'm sure there will.
We'll see if this one gets to the Senate floor before it gets.
I tell you this,
burned to a crisp.
One of the most amazing things to look back on, and I did this the other day, is just, I mean, you forget about it because at the time it seems like such a big deal. But I go back and I'm like, what exactly happened again with all the Jim Tressel stuff at Ohio State? It's like, why was he like basically forced to resign and all this other stuff? And it's like, oh, so players got tattoos for a little bit cheaper because they traded sports memorabilia. Oh, great.
It's amazing.
And think about where we are now.
Like, friend of the show, Charles Robinson, spent months, on that story, in Columbus, like trying to see, see if they can find someone, getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
I mean, just it's not that long ago.
No, a scandal.
Yeah, Tressel left Ohio State in May of 2011. It's not that
Right.
long ago. Yeah, think about where we are now. It's amazing.
Really is.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. A potential rule change in baseball that MLB is tossing around, that would be massive for college baseball, and frankly, potentially massive for college baseball around here. We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. This is about where they started to lose me.
Oh, this is what got this lost you? Really? Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of this.
You were feeling good before this one.
I mean, like 02, 03, Maroon 5, it's not bad. I mean, it's basically like everything else with me. It's like about after 2008, I'm like, no thanks. Get it all away from me. God. That's movies, music, whatever. I go back and watch stuff from like 2004 all the time.
Really? Interesting.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something.
I promised myself. I remember like being like a 16-year-old, and there'd be people in my life that are of a certain age where it's like, oh, they think everything that we do sucks and all our music's terrible. And I was like, I'll never be that guy. And then I became that guy at like 25. I was like, oh yeah, like the new generations, all their music is terrible, and nobody can make a good movie anymore. And
younger than
TV
most
shows
people
suck now. And yeah, it happened quick.
Well, I
also lost my hair quick, so I think the two things are correlated.
You are Rhett Foreman.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, hey, you guys suck, all of you.
I'm still going back to the 80s, right? For like most of my favorite comedies are probably from the 80s.
Yeah, I got a buddy who, my age, but loves really only 80s and 90s music.
Yeah.
Never really got into the newer rock or newer bands at all. I, of course, went newer at some point, but I pretty much just listen to a lot of the same bands, but I'll listen to their new stuff too. It's hard to find new artists these days.
Yeah, that's why I feel bad for kids. I've said that before. It's like, it used to be, to me, easy. It's like, well, I mean, MTV, like MTV was a big deal. Like that's the first time I heard of Pearl Jam was on MTV or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, even regular radio in the 90s was big for that.
Yeah.
Right. And now,
discovering new music. And I guess
YouTube.
Maybe it still does. Maybe
TikTok.
What do they do?
TikTok
they go to TikTok? Is that what it is?
Seriously.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's too bad.
That is rough.
Because it all sucks now. Everything sucks.
The MLB, Jeff Passan put this out there yesterday, and then a whole bunch of discussion around it. It's very interesting. MLB proposed an overhauled domestic amateur entry system that basically just removes high school players from the draft. So you're talking removing high school players from the draft. You can make college players eligible after their sophomore year, which would shorten the MLB draft from 20 rounds to 12 rounds. It cuts down on the money from the current bonus pools from like almost double, like $358.7 million, I think is the current bonus pool, and it would be dropped to $200 million. So the MLB is tossing that around, which of course means if it goes through and it ends up happening that way, and high school players being drafted are just immediately outlawed and they can't get in there until after their sophomore year. I mean, a lot of these guys who get drafted high as high schoolers who don't end up going to college and start playing like A-ball and all that other stuff and trying to work their way up through the pipeline that way, you're going to college at that point. And, for a team like Vanderbilt, and to a certain degree Tennessee, but Vanderbilt over the last 15 years, I mean,
unbelievable.
How many guys have they recruited, got to commit, who'd never showed up on campus because they got drafted really high and then went on and just started going up through the ranks that way? Like, how much would that change the game for Vanderbilt over the last 15 years?
I believe right now they have the number one class, and it's like, but this guy, are they, they have decisions. And this has happened so many times, so many years for them. And yeah, moving forward, I mean, I think both of those programs, I mean, it's college baseball in general. You think about this. I mean, it would be massive in terms of the talent that you are. It's already a great product. A little bit forgotten with the World Cup this year and with no Tennessee and Vanderbilt, but it's already a great product, already a ton of talent, a lot of guys who go on to the pros. But if you take the top guys who would be going at the top of the draft and now they have to play 2 years of college baseball, to me, and by the way, the MLBPA is like they're already, the cap. I mean, it's like, I bet you we're probably not going to have baseball next summer. So, which is fine with me because it's dead to me now because the Tigers suck again. But so the MLBPA is totally against this. So we'll see. But what I read out of this is baseball saying, look at the NFL. Like, they don't pay 1 cent and they get a free developmental league out of college football. Why can't we just do the same thing? So here's a statement from them. Quote, by creating a draft system centered around college-age players and making most college players eligible 1 year earlier, more players would benefit from both a college education and an elite development environment while reaching professional baseball and ultimately the major leagues more quickly. We believe these changes will strengthen college baseball and deepen fans' connection to the next generation of major league stars, blah, 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 end quote. In other words, yeah, you know what? You be our college football. You get these guys, they can come a little earlier to us, but we get to judge other, we get to see them, we get to watch them play against each other, and we don't have to pay a dime. And now all of a sudden we can cut down our bonuses, cut down our rounds, save all this money, and you're paying these guys so much money right now. That's great. Keep doing it. So for college baseball, I think they like the idea too, right? I mean, any college baseball coach, I would think would like the idea. I mean, I guess you have to contend with kids on other teams but if you're a top program in this sport, to be able to like recruit these kids and know that they're coming to you, sounds pretty good.
Well, you would think
sounds expensive too.
It sounds expensive. You think that would be overall on the whole good news for teams like Vanderbilt and Tennessee, who recruit very well, who, have had high level players not ever really make it to them because they're going to pursue their MLB dreams early, right? Like you would think for teams like that, it would benefit them greatly to have this rule into place. Now, I'm with you. There's a whole firestorm of stuff coming in baseball right now that they're going to have to work through over the course of the next year, or they may be missing some time next year. Like it's not looking great on that front right now. So how real is this? At this point, what they're, as you've got the MLB and the Players Association, like there's just going to be public lobs back and forth between the two of them over the next year. So you always have to keep that in mind when it comes to stuff like this, because it's all kind of a power play from both sides now. I do wonder, like, does this ever actually happen? Because I was thinking about this. I think baseball is different because it's so hard and rare for like teenagers to immediately play in Major League Baseball. Like it just doesn't happen very often. Like for instance, like the NHL will never do this. Like the NHL will never put in some rule where, hey, you've got to play a certain amount of time in juniors or college before you can play in the NHL. Like Connor McDavid, he's ready to play in the NHL immediately, right?
If you have a
Sidney
chance at
Crosby,
a star to come right in your league,
they're not going to be like, you have to be 20 years old to play in the National Hockey League. It's just not going to happen. Now they've got all the stuff where it's, as I'm destroying my microphone,
punch that thing.
Yeah, they've got all this stuff where like the AHL stuff where it's like, well, Brady Martin probably too good to be playing in juniors, but he's not eligible to come play in the American League yet, and they're trying to work on that. I think that'll be gone here in the next couple of years, so that'll be good. On a more permanent basis. But they're never going to be like, Connor McDavid's got to wait till he's 20 to get in the league, or Sidney Crosby's got to wait till he's 20. I mean, that sort of stuff just doesn't. It's very difficult for an 18 or 19-year-old to be ready to play Major League Baseball.
It is. Now, here and there,
you'll see it every now and then.
Here and there, you'll have someone. So I guess you would be delaying the very rare. Like, how long did Bryce Harper take to get to
I want to say he was 19 or 20. I mean, Trout was 19. So, I mean, I think, Trout was 19.
But he still probably did a year where he did a little A-ball up to double-A, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's like in hockey, like you said, like the top guys that go to the top of the draft, like, okay, they're playing right now. It seems like this wouldn't be too costly to MLB.
Harper was 19. So Trout and Harper are two big examples recently of 19-year-olds.
Exceptional examples. For the most part, if you're that level, you do two years of college baseball, come on, you're ready to play. You've played against high-level competition, again, for free to MLB, Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is going to get through. Is this another thing that's essentially like a leverage play in the whole big discussion that they're having too? This might end up being, okay, well, let's get rid of that. And I feel better about this. Who knows? But it's interesting. I would be interested to know. I would assume that the Tim Corbins of the world would embrace.
I would assume
because then you have certainty with your class each year.
I would assume so. And frankly, like, again, I am a very casual college baseball fan. I enjoy it basically this time of year and really when Tennessee and Vanderbilt are in it. If they're not in it, I don't really much care. But this would be, you can't convince me this wouldn't be great for both Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Like this should make them a lot better if that's the way it goes. Now it would make some other teams better too, obviously.
Sure.
There's already, it's not like it would just be Tennessee Vanderbilt exclusive, but those two programs are at a level where they would certainly benefit from this.
Yeah, and so you think about some of the guys that they recruit and then say, well, it's okay, well, he's signing. It's too much. He's got to sign. Now you know that you're going to have those guys on campus. They're going to be playing for at least 2 years. Yeah. I think that ups the interest with the casual fan for sure.
We'll have the Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode coming up next. Take your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at 1025 The Game for live shows and exclusive content and our future award-winning YouTube chat. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
Sometimes he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. And sometimes he's just, well, Joe.
Awkward moment, let's do it.
This is the Rex Rant, now on Robby and Rexrode.
Glorious, victorious, born and raised downriver.
Geographically,
There's not a south part of Detroit.
it's just
North,
east,
south,
and west.
east.
We need RV hustling and Philip muscling and maybe even a power play goal. You're a fast one, Mr. Zeppos.
What's up? This is Scott Stapp from Creed, and you're listening to Robby and Rexrode.
Marlins, baseball,
Sing us a song, country boy.
home run, stolen base. I know some baseball words.
This is my first time hearing it. Makes me sick. Ugh.
What's up? This is Scott Stapp from Creed, and you're listening to Robby and Rexrode on 102.5 The Game.
It is time for the Rex Rant, brought to you by Rapid Response Generators, power when it matters most, and served by the Wine Cellar in Hendersonville. Joseph, the floor is yours.
Wow. For some reason, the Kaharski jump in there just
Sing me a song, country boy.
Wow. Well, this has really triggered me, this whole thing that Ian's done to me today with playing all this Maroon 5. So my initial idea was I'm going to go through my iTunes and name all the bands that would have been a better choice. I mean, I couldn't name them all because, like, this goes a long way. But then I started looking at all the other bands, as we've talked about, who have. So I think I want to do this. I want to establish and make sure we all agree that Maroon 5 is the worst Super Bowl act of all time. Okay. So quick history lesson. It was basically marching bands and stuff until, and I didn't know this, but I guess it was, in the 90s, we started having like alternative. There's been the Puppy Bowl, right? Or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Now Beavis and Butthead with the Butt Bowl, but In Living Color did an alternative Super Bowl halftime show, which apparently got a lot of viewers away from the Super Bowl halftime show of 92, which was Winter Magic, a salute to the 1992 Winter Olympics. Gloria Estefan was also there. So that's what Super Bowls used to be. It was like tributes to things. There was like a salute to Peanuts and like Chubby Checker, but like it wasn't really a thing to have these. So the next year, what does the NFL do? Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
How about that for you? You like that? You like them apples? So Michael Jackson. So essentially, starting in 93 with that Super Bowl, it became a thing. Like, okay, they're serious. They're going to have big time acts. Okay, so let's go through it real quick. You had a country one the next year in Georgia Dome with Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judge.
Sweet.
Better than Maroon 5?
Yes.
I don't like country music. Hell yes. The next year, you have Indiana Jones. Oh, yeah, it was like this Indiana Jones thing. But they had Patti LaBelle, Tony Bennett, and Miami Sound Machine. Yes.
I'm so confused with the Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah,
Sure.
I remembered it was like they had Indiana Jones, I think like he like came, it was like an Indiana.
Actually,
Is it Harrison Ford?
I don't think it was Harrison Ford. It was
Oh,
it was like a
knockoff.
stunt man, but it was like, yeah, it was the theme. Okay, the next year, 96, Diana Ross. Hell yes. Okay, the Blues Brothers, Aykroyd, Goodman, and Jim Belushi. Yes, even without John Belushi. Yeah, they're better than freaking Maroon 5. Okay. Boys to Men. But Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, Queen Latifah. Yes.
Boyz II Men was hot, right?
That one's debatable.
No, because The Temptations is not debatable. The Temptations alone Smokey Robinson alone destroys Maroon 5.
All right, but you got like
Long time.
75 people in there.
Well, that is true. Now that is a fair criticism that some of these, I mean, like the next year, Stevie Wonder on his own, yes, but no, it's Stevie Wonder and Gloria Estefan. Well, why? Then Phil Collins on his own. Yep. Great. Except it's also with Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Tony Braxton, and then Edward James almost narrating.
Sometimes
I
just
don't know.
leave him alone.
But at least one of these artists with all these stupid things like is good enough. Aerosmith, great, except they're also with NSYNC. Aerosmith and NSYNC. What? Why? You know what the best, I think arguably the best,
Okay.
was February 3rd, 2002, New Orleans, U2.
Yeah.
And for anybody who remembers, this was a few months after 9/11, and they played, they had the names of all the victims of 9/11 as U2 play. At that time, I remember saying, this is so far and away the best Super Bowl halftime show. It's not even close. Okay, here's one that we could maybe debate. I wouldn't, but you might. Shania Twain, And no doubt.
You're not going to get me to say a bad word about Shania Twain.
Okay. So there you go. The next year, the famous one, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Jessica Simpson, Kid Rock. God, I forgot that Kid Rock, P. Diddy, and Nelly were also part of this just mismatch of whatever.
That was a memorable one.
It was a memorable one. But still, I mean, Janet Jackson alone. And the other ones I could take or leave with it. I mean, Timberlake's good. Whatever. That's better than Maroon 5. Okay. Paul McCartney. Yep. I don't want to hear your comment. Rolling
I think
Stones.
we found one Maroon 5
Yep.
beats. Thank you.
Yeah, come on. Prince. Yep. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Yep. Bruce Springsteen, the EC brand.
I think I'd go Maroon 5 over Springsteen.
You would
too.
not.
I absolutely would.
Okay, well, then I quit. I quit. I quit today.
Springsteen's not good.
Oh, jeez. I mean, okay. In 2011, Usher and Slash. Yes, it's still better than Maroon 5.
Sure. I don't remember that one.
In 2012. See, they had this great run of pick a great classic band and just go.
Okay, so Usher and
those were all
Slash
great.
was with the Black Eyed Peas, which was
yes.
also not good.
Oh, I forgot the Who.
Yeah.
The Who in 10. Yeah. So here's the thing about the Black Eyed Peas. They had a good album in 1997, and then they got really bad. I still give them over Maroon 5. Okay, then Madonna. Okay, yes. Beyonce, yes. Bruno Mars, I'm not a fan. They also had the Red Hots. But
I mean, how recently did Maroon 5 do it? They haven't even come up yet, have they?
They haven't come up yet.
2019. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, like that's another thing. Like, so all these songs you're playing, are they from like 2002?
Yeah.
Why in 2019 do we have Maroon? Like, they must have fallen. Something fell through. I want to know the real story here. Katy Perry, yes. Coldplay, yes. Lady Gaga. I mean, I'm not a Lady Gaga fan, but I'm still going to put her over Maroon 5, right? You're not sure? Justin Timberlake, he had a good show because he did Prince. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was actually really good. And then, yes, Maroon 5 in 20. Is it classic rock in 2019? Is that why they did? Oh, the good old days of listening to Maroon 5. Utterly ridiculous. And then we go, the recent ones, The Weeknd, Rihanna was really good. Usher, fine.
What was that show,
Kendrick
Maroon?
Lamar.
What was the Adam Levine? What was he in? Was it
The Voice?
The Voice. Yeah.
I wonder if they were on the same channel.
That could have been. That's a good call.
Well, that would just
Could've
be
been.
a terrible reason to do
I wonder
it.
if he was on The Voice
it's
and it happened to
NBC.
be on the same network TV as the Super Bowl that year. I wonder if
That's
there
a
was
good
some type
call.
of cross promotion.
Could have been. May have figured it
Might
out.
did some research on that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's a good thought. That in tandem with like 27 different artists that they tried to get that canceled on them. I hope so. But anyway, I think that we've established like it's just it of all these things since Michael Jackson, because that's really when you started, 1993.
Sure.
Even though they've had weird, they used to do the weird thing, like let's try to appeal to all different types of music and put them all on the stage at once, which was a terrible idea. That's still better than Maroon 5.
People think the popularity of The Voice was what did it. Could be.
And was that
Ian may be on to
was
something.
that peaked around then? Was that? I thought it was
I mean,
earlier than that, wasn't it?
could have been. But I'm wondering about the gap there. You make up a good point. The 2002 peak to 2019.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Just a thought.
It's a good thought. Dennis says, if you think about it, Maroon 5 is a perfect Super Bowl halftime performer. They are the lowest common denominator for the masses. That's a very depressing comment, Dennis.
Yeah, I think Springsteen may be the worst.
Oh God! All right, your Beatles take is bad enough. We can't do that. I mean, I'm not like the Springsteen guy that Kaharski is, but my God, Springsteen's a great artist.
I think we throw around the use of the word "great" way too much. You know?
Not like the boss. When the boss plays a Santa Claus coming to town, that is so wonderful.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I do like to make fun of Kaharski and the boss, but he is pretty great. He's great.
Turron Davenport will be with us coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game.
ESPN's Turron Davenport talking Titans now on Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is that time of the week. We head to our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in our friend Turron Davenport to the program from ESPN, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law. TD, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning, fellas. How's it going?
Awesome, man.
Good.
Appreciate you taking time to be with us. TD, I thought you had a really fascinating kind of back and forth discussion with Shea Tierney earlier this week when it comes to completion percentage and kind of getting his view on that as it relates to the quarterback and the play call and what you're trying to get done on a play. I thought it was a very fascinating breakdown. And of course, that comes in the midst of, all this discussion about Cam Ward and accuracy. So when you look at that discussion around Cam Ward, what Tierney had to say about the completion percentage part of this, what do you make about kind of what his point was of, hey, so much of this depends on the play calling and what you're asking the quarterback to do out there and how that relates to completion percentage?
Yeah, I think that was a really good statement that he made, because when you look at the play calls, and what I've kind of seen are a lot of quick reads and built-in high percentage throws for Cam Ward, which is really good because that's going to increase his completion percentage. But like Coach Tierney said, that doesn't necessarily mean accuracy is right, because you could have a high completion percentage just chucking and ducking, you know what I mean, as opposed to taking those shots down the field and doing those things. And that's what they want to do. So he's definitely right in that. I think when you look at statistics, they don't always show everything. They show you a lot, but they don't always show you everything. And that's a good example. But more importantly, I like what he said about how you could coach up the accuracy, because that was the thing that I really wanted him to discuss. Because when you look at it, as far as taking the mechanics, breaking it down, slowly going through frame by frame and showing them, okay, look, if your release point is here and you do this or do that, I'm not going to get into all the technicalities, but if you do these things, that's going to make your throws get where they need to go. And then you take that from the film room to the technique work in the individual period, and then you take that through install, even throwing, and then to Scully and team, and then ultimately to the game period, to where it's just muscle memory and it's something that you're just naturally doing as opposed to thinking about it. And I think that's really how they were able to get Josh Allen to go from a guy who really had not much accuracy at Wyoming and eventually became an accurate passer.
So from the start of, because obviously we have a break now, and we'll be back to camp. We'll be back to dissecting, every Cam throw during camp. But from the start of the spring stuff until the end, which it sounds like he certainly had a couple pretty good days there late. Would you say that you saw growth or improvement, or maybe even maybe more grasp of some of the different things? Because of course people have to remember this is a new system.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like you said, it's a new system. And not only is it a new system, you have new pass catchers in Wan'Dale Robinson, who was getting most of the targets. If you look at minicamp, right? You have a Carnell Tate, the number 4 pick, and then obviously Daniel Bellinger, who started to get a lot of targets as well. So I think when you look at all that newness, naturally there's going to be some hiccups, right? But the good thing is it is June and he's trending up, right? You go from OTAs to minicamp, it got a lot better. He seemed to be more decisive. He was quicker as far as throwing the football and making his reads. And it's pretty cool. What I like to do is stand in the end zone, right? And you're getting like that end zone copy, and you can see his head just kind of moving, and that's where he's going through the reads. So he's doing that, and it's going faster. And that's the thing. And with it going from spring to June and then into training camp, like right now, it's trending upward. Like there's progress, and he doesn't have to be playing his best football. Frankly, you want him to be playing the best football like leading into the season as opposed to right now, because you don't want him to plateau. So it's good. And you also have to remember, when I asked him about if there's a degree of experimentation, he said he's trying some things, and he said it on almost every snap he's doing that. So you put that into account too. And that's how you get the whole equation, where it's, okay, there are some more accuracy improvements that could come, but there's still time to get it right.
So, TD, put yourself in Robert Saleh's shoes. You got Jeffrey Simmons coming off probably the best year of his career. He's in great shape. He was a menace out there last year. And now you've added some pieces on the front around him that, on paper look like this could be the strength of the football team with the front that you put together. So if you're Saleh, how do you balance maybe wanting to limit Simmons' snap count a little bit more than we saw last year, keep him more fresh, but also the idea of you want him on the field as much as possible? How do you kind of strike that balance if you're Robert Saleh in charge of all that?
Robbie, that's going to be the challenge for him because Jeff is a guy, if you look at his snaps, he's typically 80 to 90%, right? And Saleh was saying, hey, listen, like if it's 60 snaps and he plays 40, I want those to be all passing downs. But it's like, wait a minute, you go back and you watch the way he penetrates and gets in the backfield, he gets those tackles for losses. So it's one of those things where Saleh also said, well, hey, if you play more 4 snaps in a row, then you're not going hard enough. And so like the challenge, because I asked Jeff exactly about that, and he was like, well, I want to show him that I can play more, and then I asked Saleh, is there a world where he could show you that he could play more than what you're projecting him? And he basically said no. So that's going to be the challenge, the back and forth. It's obviously not a contract year, but it is a contract year, right? He has 2 more years on the deal, but ultimately he wants another deal. And I mean, if they're smart, just looking at the year that he's probably going to have, they'll do an extension to kind of get ahead of it. And also you look at the ticket on Dexter Lawrence did his redo, and that's at $28 million, right? So, I mean, Jeff's going to want to come in at, I would say at least 35, right? So you have to get that deal done soon. And all of that is involved in that snap count and the opportunities to go get the quarterback, et cetera. But, Saleh likes the rotation, so we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, so if they actually execute that and we start seeing Jeff, I guess, off the field more on early downs, do they have the depth and the guys to be able to do that and still have enough, 3rd and long situations for Jeff to feast on?
Yeah, see, that's a good question, Rexrode, because when you look at it, right, it's Solomon Thomas, Jordan Elliott, those are additions. I think those are guys that will probably take up some of Jeff's rundowns, so to speak. But the whole thing is, you mentioned 3rd and long, right? How do you get to 3rd and long? You get a loss on 1st or 2nd down. You know what I mean? So it all plays hand in hand. And I understand he likes the rotation and all that, but I think a guy like Jeff, you just let him go. And I mean, he told me that this offseason, he's working to get into the best shape of his life. And I don't know if you saw the press conference, but he looked like he's in pretty good shape. Yeah. He looked like he's probably down under 300, which, last year when I talked to him, he was around 305, and that was where he wanted to be. But he definitely looks lighter.
TD, when the pads come on, what's kind of the maybe 1 or 2 things that you're really looking for from Carnell Tate in terms of maybe the intrigue into camp when you've got pads on and some of the action is a little bit more real than what we've seen in OTAs?
The thing I'm going to look for is the press coverage, right? Because you look at this team, these receivers last year, man, Cam going to them against press coverage, 17% completion. It's not good, So I want to see, because I asked Brian Dable, I asked Berganzi, I asked Greg Lewis about it as well. How are you going to be able to get better at press coverage, and how will Carnell Tate help you? So I think when you look at Tate, you're not going against a cornerback that's selling insurance next year, right? You're going against a dude that he's a dog just like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when he's right in front of you and you have that chatter at the line of scrimmage, you're going to be able to have that hand-to-hand combat and be able to get that release off the ball and get the timing, right? Get into your stem and run your route in accordance with the timing of Cam Ward's steps. And I think when you look at that, that's really going to be the key, because you're not really seeing too much physicality, right, at the line of scrimmage especially, but also throughout the route. So how are you going to handle going against a grown man that's doing that to you? That's really what I'm going to look at with him.
So, TD, yesterday you said something with Jake Lyman that definitely caught my attention. Talking about Kevin Winston, you said you thought he could be become one of the best safeties in the league, which obviously would be a tremendous outcome for the Titans. They get him when he's hurt and maybe a little bit, pennies on the dollar. Everyone has seen the talent when he was healthy. What are you seeing from him, and what kind of player what kind of player are we going to see this year if he reaches, his potential here in year 2?
Well, this is lofty, but I think he could be a Derwin James type of player. And that's why I keep asking him about whether or not they're going to allow him to play nickel, because when they go to that big nickel package, right, the 3 safeties, and they drop him down in the box, you got a guy, he can match up with the smaller receivers, right, and absolutely match up with the power forward types that they like to put in the slot. So I think that's a key. But the thing that I really like about Kevin Winston is just his physicality. He's very athletic, but he has to get better feel for zone coverage. And if you go back to the Seattle game, remember Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he hit him with a whoop whoop a couple times, and was able to get open. And there were a few other games too. So that feel for zone coverage is something that he has to get better. But I say this, having Marquand Manuel as his coach, man, Rexrode, when you get out there, I encourage you to stand near the DBs or stand near him during 7-on-7 or team period, because it's really dope. It's the way he communicates with them. You'll see him 8-2-3. You see they're split. They're about to high-low you. And I remember on a few occasions he said that, and I was like, damn, they just high-lowed him. You know what I mean? So having that coach that has been there and done that and able to help him there, I think that's only going to elevate him. But yeah, the zone coverage has to improve.
Is there some Kerry Coombs, kind of feel here with Mark?
Nah,
I remember him as a great player at Florida,
like
man.
Kerry
I remember
Coombs,
him as a player.
Manuel?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a good player. Yeah, he was a solid DB. I think that it's different. I think he's more technically sound than Kerry Coombs. Kerry Coombs was just like all energy. You know what I mean?
All caffeine.
Yeah, all caffeine. Hey, listen, I told you the story, right, about when I asked him about drinking coffee.
I don't think
so.
Yeah,
no, say it again though, because I do remember this.
So he came out. It was like 97 degrees, man. At 97, and he had a big, tall cup of coffee. And I'm like, Coach, what's up, man? Like, why are you always drinking that coffee? And he's like, man, it just gives me energy. I was like, well, how do you drink it? And he was like, I just drink it straight like a man. Now, earlier that day, I had coffee and I poured a bunch of creamer in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he made me feel like, oh, damn.
he just got a shot unintentionally. Like TD's just getting thrown out of the bus.
Real man.
Yeah, right. He caught it straight real quick, unintentional.
Golly.
That guy was something else, man.
Yeah, he was. TD, awesome stuff.
I don't know where he's coaching now.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's done now.
Yeah.
TD, have a great weekend, man. Appreciate you taking time to be with us. Happy Father's Day to you, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Thanks for sure. Yeah, happy Juneteenth to everybody. Happy Father's Day, and make sure you stay on the lookout. We have a Robert Saleh Father's Day story coming out on Father's Day, so check it out.
Nice.
Very nice. Looking forward to that.
All
TD with us
Thanks, TD.
every Friday morning at 8 o'clock here on the program. We'll react to what TD had to say. Coming up next, take your thoughts on the Titans. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. I got some tickets to give away to see Journey at Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. Happy Father's Day out there. Caller 5, 615-737-1025. Caller 5 will win a pair of tickets to see Journey at Bridgestone Arena coming up on October 21st.
God, I like that song. If I never that, what's the name of that song?
She Will Be Loved.
Oh, God.
They got all kinds of hits. I mean, I'm kind of reliving some of my childhood today on the program. It's fun.
So I want to give shout out to
The later 2000 ones are pretty bad. I went through Spotify for a sec just to see what was like, the hot one. Not good.
The line of demarcation's about 2005. And it's like after that, they really went downhill.
So Trevor has on the text line driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com has he makes me feel better about the NFL picking Maroon 5 because that was in the post Kaepernick era of a bunch of artists turning them down. So this now makes a little bit more sense. Rihanna turned them down. Cardi B turned them down. Pink turned them down. And maybe other artists too, but those three have been reported. Maybe Jay-Z also. Of course, he ends up.
They call Blink 182 at any point.
God,
did they get the Maroon 5 before Blink 182?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
I would not have gone that way. I'd gone the opposite. Let's go Blink 182 first.
I would have picked Blink 182 too.
Of course you would
have. I would have, and you know that I hate them. So, but anyway, so now like
there's some context to it.
Yes, there's context to it. Okay, so Maroon 5 is the beneficiary of turmoil and people not wanting to be in league with the NFL. So, at some point you have to just be like, well, we need someone. It's Maroon 5.
Somebody's got to do the show.
Or my high school's marching band. What are we going to do? All right, Maroon 5, they'll definitely do it.
Somebody's got to do the show.
So here we go.
They should have called Garth.
Why? Like Garth? Yeah, why hasn't he?
I don't know. Maybe it's coming here.
Garth is my number. If they don't get Taylor Swift, because I mean, if you can get Taylor Swift to do the Super Bowl in Nashville, I think you have to do it. But if not, I think Garth Brooks would be a good number 2 choice because country does make sense.
Sure. Yeah.
And she would play a lot of her country stuff, right?
I don't know if she would.
Yeah, she would play. Don't you
probably
think so?
Probably play a couple. I think she's trying to move away from that.
But I mean, I would think that would be like coming back home, probably get you out there as a backup singer, et cetera, et cetera.
It's happened before.
Garth Brooks, I know. So we got to bring that back. But Garth Brooks would be that'd be a good backup.
Somebody's asking about our thoughts on Nickelback.
I mean, come on.
Nickelback overhated. But it wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah, like Nickelback might be better than Stained, which I don't even know any of their songs.
I think we reached a point in our society where overhating Nickelback became a thing. It was like it's got to be cool to hate Nickelback, and it's like, yeah, they're not great. They're not that bad. Like they're not like the worst band in the history of music or anything,
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't like.
No, it became.
I don't want them playing the halftime show.
They just became the fill-in band name when you would make fun of.
Yeah, exactly.
Nickelback. Right.
I don't know.
But please no Nickelback.
Educational day on the program.
They shouldn't have been hated as much as they are, but we don't want them anywhere near the Super Bowl.
That question for Robert Saleh, I think, is a very interesting one because I mean, I guess in theory, I do understand the idea of you're Jeffrey Simmons, you're trying to keep him as fresh as possible when it comes to, pass rushing downs, but also you have to get to those pass rushing downs and he's your best defensive player. So like that balance of wanting him on the field as much as possible. Like for me if you're somebody that wants the Titans to win football games, like you would think him being out there as much as possible kind of correlates to some of that. I'm interested to see as the season goes on, what that snap count actually ends up looking like. And when he's not on the field, are they actually equipped to come up with some of these stops to put them in those situations?
Yeah, if you can do it, if you can pull it off. Now, yeah, like TD said, like Jeff also like, well, I like being out there
and contract.
I'd like being out there and getting some TFLs and dominating the whole game. But yeah, like that you would think that would be good for him to be a little, go from 81% down to like 67, 70%. You think there'd be a little bit of a benefit from that. And yeah, the deal, we talked about this the other day, but you don't have to do it until next offseason. He's under contract through 2027. But would you save yourself money doing it now?
Probably.
Do it now. Maybe even, again, whatever. It's going to be like 2 years that you can get out of the deal. It's going to be the guarantee money that matters. But yeah, do it now. You maybe save yourself a little bit of money and you start the clock on getting out of it a little earlier for a guy's about to. I mean, that might be the move. Make him happy. I mean, they certainly have the cap space, and again, you probably do. You probably end up saving yourself. You look at the guy right now and you listen to him and you have to know he's about to have a monster year, right? And this defense with the reinforcements, everybody was like, wow, Tavondre Sweat could be a great tag team partner. Well, he wasn't. Well, Franklin Myers will be. He's good.
Yeah.
So if you project that beyond just the cap going up and the money going up like it is doing, also, what does another year of Jeff dominating and he gets 12 sacks do a year from now to what you're giving him? So do it now.
I mean, according to overthecap.com, the Titans have $49.5 million in cap space for this year.
It's a lot of cap space.
Apparently, San Francisco has $71 million in cap space for this year, which surprises me a little bit.
Surprises me too, because they're one of those teams that's like the Lions, like they're still quote unquote supposed to be in a window, even though I don't think that they're really going to sniff winning it all. But yeah, you'd think that they would have done a little bit more.
You would think. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're saving up for something big. Who knows?
Sorsby?
Yeah.
July 10th, supplemental draft.
Wait until we get Sorsby in the building.
Over under on wins this year?
Yeah, let's take the over. 615-737-1025. More of your thoughts to get to on the Titans. Plus, we will officially crown our weekend winners champion coming up next as well. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. We are brought to you by Green Ventures Landscaping. Get thicker grass, better color, fewer bare spots with turf application. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. This is the time to officially crown a champion here in the competition. Weekend winners is done with the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Final wrapped up. The final standings: in first place with a record of 51-51, 12-5 on his locks, 63 points, our 2026 weekend winners champion, Ian Safar. Ian, congratulations.
Would have loved a winning record.
Yeah, it doesn't speak well of our competition.
Yeah. 500 gets the win.
Hey, we're the AFC South of a radio show.
Good season, boys. I mean, there have been a couple
games.
years, whether it was with Pigskin Pick'em or Weekend Winners, that we've been like, I mean, the winner has been 20-something games over 500.
That much?
And here we sit at 51-51.
Yeah, it's hey man,
not great.
You won.
That's
what matters.
That's what matters.
I'll take it.
All you can do is play the game in front of you.
Weekend winners and a fantasy football championship.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not bad.
Ian's kind of dominating.
You won fantasy.
Yeah, he did.
Dang,
He's
job.
kind of dominating right now. In second place with a record of 48-54 overall, 10-7 on the locks, 58 points. Robby Stanley coming in second place this year, which means the caboose of the program, Joe Rexrode,
but
46-56, 9-8 on his locks, 55 points, which means for this one-day pizza that we get, which we still haven't gotten from Pigskin Pick'em, you will be buying.
Yeah, so in the two competitions, you won Pigskin Pick'em, he won this.
So I just sit there.
Finished first and second. He finished first and third. I finished second and third.
Yeah.
So I'm the butt of the show. So does that mean I just buy both of your pizzas? Is that basically what we're talking about here?
We'll figure it out. We may have to go twice, Just
it's hard to get it together.
It is
with our
lives.
A
lot of live stuff
going on. I think when we go, it's gonna
we may have to just knock it out.
We have to blow it out. So yeah. So get ready for some pepperoni and hot honey, Ian.
Well,
on the house.
This puts the competition portion of our program on pause until football season's back.
Yeah,
we'll pick up Pigskin Pick'em back in the fall.
I can have more pride on a daily basis. Feel better about myself.
I mean, usually the weekend winners competition is easier than Pigskin Pick'em because you have more sports to choose from. But didn't work out that way.
I think that gets because baseball's hard.
That's why you go, shots on goal and
world championships
and
hockey.
Yeah. How did you do, by the way, last week with like those?
Not good. I did Mark Stone, what was my lock, and I got that one.
Okay.
But Marner decided to shoot the puck in the last game. And Eichel
was that 2, I thought.
Eichel, the over-under was 2.5. He was at 2, and he rung one off the crossbar, which is not a shot on goal. And it just it infuriated me.
Oh, God. Well, you got creative. I mean, a couple years ago, or was it last year you were doing the Australian rules football?
A couple years ago, I did Australian rules football. I don't think the record was great.
I didn't do great in baseball. That was I was trying to pick some baseball and didn't go so well.
Yeah, baseball stuff. I mean, to me, Pigskin Pick'em is at least, I think there's a little bit more consistency to it. Nate says in gambling, being just over 500 is actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, if you're like 60%, you can go,
what's Sorsby's
you can
record?
go beat Jimmy the Greek.
Do we have a winning percentage?
I participated in.
That's a good question. Scott in Waverly, congratulations, Ian. Way to go. Nice job.
Thank you, guys. It was fun.
Scott in Waverly says, if you look at the teams that Saleh has been a part of, what's the number one thing he's known for? Building an amazing defense with any group of players. 49ers last year literally had their entire practice squad out there by the end of the season. They still won 12 games, beat the defending champs, Eagles, in the playoffs. All the Titans got to do, build a little offense, and Saleh's got the defense, I promise.
I hear you. I definitely think that last year is a good data point to support that. I think for the most part, and it's not a knock on him, but for the most part, he got the job with the Jets because of a great job as DC with a loaded defense. And the talent he had with the Jets on the defensive side of the ball was pretty freaking good. Now, I agree though. Last year they had serious injuries. They're missing a lot of their best guys, and they still were good. So I think that helped him really in the process of getting a second opportunity as head coach. It was like even in a time of adversity and duress like this, you produce, you have a good defense. So overall, I agree with Scott. Like, I expect good defense here. I expect Robert Saleh to have good defense here. And again, if he does figure this out, if he's got enough depth and versatility to rotate like he likes and keep Jeff a little fresher, I mean, I think that sounds really good.
I think it sounds good too. I mean, I think he would be the first one to tell you, look, X's and O's matters. Yeah, he's clearly a very good defensive mind. So all that's important. I feel good about all that. If they don't have anybody coming off the edge that can anywhere approach the quarterback, a lot of it's not going to matter, right? Like, you got to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback quick enough to where your defenders aren't having to cover that long in the back. I mean, it's kind of the name of the game, and there's different ways to go about doing that. And who knows? I mean, look, maybe Simmons and John Franklin Myers together coming up the middle are just such a problem for people that it frees up me and you could go out there on the edge and get to the quarterback because people are so concerned about what they're doing up the middle. I'm just saying there's going to be a level that those edge rushers who are, Jermaine Johnson coming in, you got a second-round pick and a first-round pick that you're talking about. There's going to be a level those guys are going to have to get to at some point if you're going to see this turn into an elite defense, regardless of who's coaching it.
No question. Now, also, it's not great that, like, Femi Oladejo is one of the undisclosed injury, missing time. Is it a big deal? No, because you're not going to mess with anything this time of year. It's not worth it. But at the same time, just you'd like that guy to get every rep he can get.
Well, it needs to be
still very, very important.
It's a clean year. Like, just stay on the field, and because some of this is just information gathering of, like, what is he, right? I mean, I don't think there's any way you could know that. I mean, it was not an encouraging year from Oladejo last year. I mean, I don't think you can know right now that he's just a total bust, but it's not off to a great start. You need the injury part of it to be out of the way this year, and that way we just purely as a player, what is he? And you can start to evaluate from there. But, I mean, it would be great if heading into next offseason, you looked at Falk and you looked at Oladejo and you said, okay, I mean,
starter.
You can find another edge rusher in the draft, great, in like the third or fourth round, but it's not some glaring need heading into the draft. That'd be awesome.
Well, think about what that would do if you were set there. I mean, it's for one thing, for Oladejo, he's going to be immediately compared to Falk, and if Falk immediately looks way better than him, I mean, that's just another thing where people are going to look at that pick and wonder. But yeah, if you had that, now you can focus on probably, like, without question, on like your offensive tackle, right? Like, that's probably as exciting as that is. And sorry that we're talking about the draft right now, but I think that is, if you think big picture a little bit, project forward. If those guys are good and Saleh's coaching and the system and all that stuff gets the best out of them, then the rebuild is accelerated.
And the bottom line is, with those two guys in college, which is basically all we have to go on right now, because Oladejo just didn't play that much last year, you've got limited production. I mean, for different reasons. Oladejo played basically a different position in college until his last year, and then he transitioned into being an edge rusher. Well, Falk had good production as a sophomore at Auburn, had 7 sacks. I think he had 11 TFLs that year. Like, he was good. And then for whatever reason in 2025, it totally fell off. Like, he played in 12 games. He had 2 sacks. And we've talked about that. Like, there's a difference in the league between, almost getting there and getting there, 2 very different things. And you need your first round pick to get there. So, I mean, I'm concerned about that heading into this year. Now, the lack of production from a year ago, is that some fluke? He's only 21, so he's a young guy coming into the league. But I think there are natural questions with those two anyway I mean, physically you can see there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of just natural quickness and size and all the things that you can't teach, which is why they went where they went in the draft. But the production from both of them is not great heading into this.
Yeah, I think evaluators and the Titans, at least, and probably some other teams, clearly view it as a fluke. But yeah, you got to prove it. There are examples of in various sports, production. Well, Michael Jordan, 17 points a game in college. Did a little bit better than that in the NBA. Although, we know his failings. We don't need to go back into that again. But that happens. Sometimes you get to the pros and you have the ability and it's unleashed.
Yeah.
So that'd be good.
Well, it's not like we're looking at Myles Garrett in college, right?
No.
Like you look at which by the way brings up one of my worst takes ever. Was when I was convinced that Derek Barnett was going to be a better NFL player than Myles Garrett. Good stuff by me.
I wrote that in the Tennessee.
But
I'm not kidding.
But for instance, Myles Garrett in college, he had 11 and a half sacks, 12 and a half sacks, 8.5 sacks. So his last year was actually his worst year at Texas A&M. But, I mean, it was from the jump when he was a freshman. He was like, oh, good Lord, look at that guy. 11 and a half sacks. He's just immediately a freak.
Yeah.
You're not talking about that with either one of these guys.
No, but it is funny because there was the production reduction a little bit. It's still
he went from 12 and a half to 8.5.
To a good number, but I remember people talking about that, and definitely people talking about, like, does this guy really love it? Like, this guy – because Barnett – I mean, if people don't remember, Barnett was absolutely a dog at Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
He was a killer. And
that's what happens when
I did.
Butch,
That's right. But I thought the intangibles were in his favor. Sometimes if you got those measurables, that plays out in the NFL.
Yeah, it's objectively hilarious to look back at that conversation. 615-737-1025, our phone number. We'll wrap up the show coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Final segment of the day, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Reminder to stay tuned all day. We got tickets all day long for your chance to win Journey, the Final Frontier Tour tickets, coming to Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. So make sure you're tuned in for that. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. All right, we got U.S. and Australia coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. How are we feeling about it? We went through the odds earlier. The Americans are the favorite in that game. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, yes, they are, let's see here, minus 135, or excuse me, minus 160 to win, plus 330 to draw, plus 425 for Australia to win. I'm calling it 3-1 the final day. 3-1 for the United States.
Okay.
So, Rexrode, what we got in the U.S. match against Australia coming up this afternoon?
Well, I'm really excited to make a prediction after we laid out for everybody how bad I am.
Well, there's no stakes to this one. You can do whatever you want.
I know, but I don't want to like predict them to win and then they lose and then it's like somehow my fault.
That's true.
You know, I think we're looking at a 2-2 draw. I just have a feeling, I don't know, maybe the Pulisic stuff is gamesmanship, but I have a feeling they're going to be careful, knowing that you have him fully healthy next week and you beat Turkey and you're in great shape. So I'm going to go 2-2 draw and that he doesn't play.
Okay. Ian?
I'm not sure he's going to play either. I think he sits. He hasn't practiced with the team all week.
Yeah, he's been like off to the side.
Yeah,
and
doing
like
stuff
that.
on his own. Although I did see the manager said if he sits out this game, he will play the next one.
Okay.
So maybe it's not that bad.
Well, I don't think. Yeah, I think if this was like knockout round, there'd be no question he'd be playing. But again, it's like you already have the win under your belt. You should feel good about beating Turkey, and if that's the case, having him fully healthy with another week, you think fully healthy, I think you could make a case to sit him today.
I think this will be
even though it won't be as exciting to watch.
I think this could be a 1-goal game, or I think this one is a little bit closer.
Okay. All right. I'm sticking with 3-1. I don't
So
care if he plays
3-1 win, 2-2 draw.
I'll take a 3-2 win.
3-2 win. Okay.
All right.
No one's even entertaining a loss.
No, we don't lose in soccer anymore.
Yeah, that's right. We are a dominant force in soccer, as we've established on the program.
Now that
today.
it's here, the rest of the world might as well stop playing. That's kind of the way I view it. You know, Messi, move aside, son.
Yeah.
Here come the Americans getting ready to play some soccer.
See, that's the thing. I hope like we get to see like that match, for example, right? How fun would that be?
Again, I haven't looked. I keep muting myself. I haven't
And
looked.
punching your mic.
Yeah, there's a lot going on over here. Have we determined whether or not U.S. and England is actually possible on July 4th? Because when Rich Eisen brought that up,
Jake Lyman says behind us, we're most likely going to play. Who was it? Belgium. In the round of
it just doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
Belgium in the round of 16. Okay. We could beat Belgium.
Can we do a friendly in the middle of the tournament? Like, can we be like, hey guys, let's stop the tournament, July 4th, USA, England.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love the
250
idea.
years later.
That would have been
Last
truly.
time it was fought with muskets. This time it's a soccer ball.
And then all of a sudden, like the French show up. Some French get on the field and help us out a little
hey,
bit.
look over there.
Mbappe comes out there.
Hey,
Yeah. Coming in.
appreciate the help.
Yeah. Pulisic to Mbappe.
Yeah, that'd be a good combo.
That would be, right?
Yeah.
No, that would have been cool. But I'm thinking, that's the thing. I'm thinking advance. I'm thinking, okay, what's it look like? I mean, to me, Belgium they're good, but they're not typically like amazing, right?
I mean, you're asking the wrong person. I don't know how good Belgium is.
Well, I'm looking now at as in the athletics, they keep re-ranking. Okay. So they got France, Argentina, England. Yeah. Then you get down Germany, Spain, Brazil, Netherlands, Mexico.
Well, where are we?
Morocco, Colombia, Portugal, Croatia.
I mean, we're like 15
Uruguay,
deep.
Senegal, Egypt. Then we are 16th. But that is, we've got Belgium ranked 18th. We got us ranked 16th. So I'll take our chances. If you can get to that in the round of 16, a chance to get to the round of 8 by beating Belgium, that sounds pretty good, right?
This 16.
Like the round of 8 is lofty for us.
Let me ask you this: home field in football, American football, worth like 3 points. How much is it worth in soccer?
I think it's worth as much in soccer as it is in hockey.
So not much.
Yeah, because the game is constant. I mean, it's just right. It's a constant action game.
In fact, like zero. It's worth nothing at all.
Yeah. Other than maybe just feeling.
You remember when the Predators
feeling the energy of your fans?
Maybe it'll be really hot.
Yeah. Remember when the
That might
Predators
give us
got
an
to
advantage.
Cup final 2017? They was like, we have got to get home ice advantage in the playoffs next year. It's just got to happen. And then they did. And now, like the stats in the Cup playoffs the last 5 years, like the road team has a winning record. It's like, oh, cool.
Although that series, at least the Preds did play better at home. I mean, they won 2.
The Cup final, you're saying?
Yeah, the Cup final in 17.
Sure.
They definitely played better.
I don't know.
It
they
mattered.
Approached a win on the road other than game 1 where they got screwed.
Yeah, they were right there, man. You don't take that goal off the board, and you don't have an intent to blow. And
I'm feeling good about it.
Sorry for bringing it up.
I'm feeling good about today. I think
I'm excited, man. Like, I'm actually legitimately excited to watch this match.
Yeah.
America are going to win. Remember, not America is going to win. America are going to win. Australia are not going to win.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
This is soccer parlance.
Scotty's got some work to do in the U.S. Open today. He's 2 over. Leader right now is Wyndham Clark, who's 6 under, who shot somehow a 64 yesterday. My guess is he probably comes back to earth a little bit today. But needs Scotty to shoot about 3-4 under today. See how it goes.
Yeah,
a lot of action at Shinnecock up there in New York.
I mean, you've got a lot. You're into the soccer.
Yeah.
You got a golf.
Big
major
sports day
going
for me.
on. Yeah, absolutely. And Predemption wants some credit. I was surprised, Predemption, for Canada with the butt kicking yesterday. Was it 6-0? 6-0 final? Good for Canada.
They looked good.
They're not good.
They look good. They got a
Canada's not
couple of
good
good
in soccer.
players.
Yeah.
We'll give them credit.
Bad
depending on how
injury,
the rest
though.
of the tournament
Bad
goes,
injury.
It'd be cool to
I give the United States credit in this tournament. No one else.
It would have been cool to be in their grouping, just destroy them.
Yeah,
Following up on the
Hey,
hockey.
You thought hockey was bad. Wait till you get soccer out here.
That's right. And then we annex you.
How's that, Johnny? What do you think of that?
Have some of that, Johnny.
What do you think, Johnny? All righty. That's going to do it for us on the program today. Hope everybody has an outstanding weekend. We will be back on Monday morning, we think, at 6 o'clock. Go America today in the World Cup. 3-1 will be the final. You heard it here first.
Let's go.
Have a great weekend. Next Minute Up with Jake Lyman coming up next. You're listening to 102.5 The Game. God bless America.